Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
I love this guy because he gets right to the point, and he's like the mirror in front of you, facing you when it comes to your finances. And most of us are not financially prepared, and he's going to call us out on it because he's right about many of these things. And what you're going to hear today is a lot of things that you tell yourself, but when the time comes, you're going to realize that, oh, wait a minute, I don't have enough money for that. I don't have enough money for this. He is Robb Hill. He's back with us. He is a financial planner, a guru when it comes to life insurance and so much more. Robb, welcome back. How you doing today?
Well, I'm doing great, Steve, and thank you for having me again.
You are a wealth of info. And you said something before we got on here, something about a firm grip on an empty bag. And you said, this is where we're going with this. And I'm trying to get the visual, somebody holding this bag, whatever kind of bag it might be, doesn't really matter, but the bag is empty. This analogy, what does this mean for us?
Well, it simply states the fact that many of us have a bag and it's got our financial tools in it. However, for many people, that bag is empty. I got a firm grab. Let me give you a good example of it. You remember the Enron scandal, right?
Sure.
Okay. All those people had that bag that they thought was their retirement funds in there. Okay. And Enron had been cooking the books for a number of years and lying and all that kind of good stuff. And so when they got found out, all those people with all those bags found out that their bags were empty.
Wow.
Okay. And see, it's a funny thing because say you're going to take a 1,000-mile journey. Okay. And you start off 1 degree off. You start out 1 degree off. It's not going to make much difference 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road. But when you get 10, 15, 20 years down the road, you are so far off base, there is practically no correction there. So then you're just there. And this is where a lot of people find themselves when it comes to financial preparation, because money is a funny thing. It works best the longer you have it to work for you. This is why people need to start young, because there is time for correction in the event something goes belly up. However, when people have been trained to live in that give it to me now society, they're not thinking about tomorrow. And then all of a sudden tomorrow shows up and they're not prepared. So this is where I come in and explain to people that you have to take 100% responsibility for your financial solvency, your own economic picture. Okay. You have got to take 100% responsibility for it, because if you leave it up to someone else, they are going to paint that picture too small for you.
And it's not their picture. They don't know you. They don't truly know your goals or what's inside. And it's interesting. In my journey, I subscribe to the live in the moment and try not to think about the past, try not to think about the future, because that's all, it's just going to get in your way. Live for now as much as you can. It's not always easy. However, this is different because this is where you need to think about the future, think about planning, because it'll be too late. And who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? Something, Enron scandal, whatever. You could have a personal crisis go down. And are you prepared? Do you have backup?
Many people get devastated by little simple things like the roof got messed up. Just little things that come and just take away everything. See,
yeah.
What we call our standard of our necessary standard of living is always going to equal our income unless we protest to the contrary. Okay, we have to decide what we're going to do about tomorrow, because it's going to come. It's not promised to you, but it's going to come. What happens when tomorrow comes and you ate up everything yesterday? Okay.
Yeah.
This is where people have to talk about sacrifice, right? Sacrifice is not a bad thing. Sacrifice is giving up something of a lower nature to receive something of a higher nature. This is where you cultivate the habit of saving. Now, saving is not enough. You have got to take that money that you're saving, and it's got to work for you. It has got to work for you. And how are you going to do this? So many people get so caught up. Well, I really don't have time to learn about finances or anything like that. But you know what? Your finances is right up there with oxygen. Okay? You need to learn about this stuff. Because if you don't, somebody else is going to tell you what's happening. I use the cliche that those who don't know are controlled by those who do. Okay?
Yeah.
And so we've got everybody out here. The best way to tackle this problem is a person's got to know where they're at, number one. You got to know where you're at. Then you got to know where you want to go, where you want to be at financially speaking. And then comes the hard part. Now you got to decide what you're willing to give up in order to get that. Okay? So maybe not 200 channels on the TV. No. Maybe buy a car. A guy once gave me some real good advice. He said, Rob, don't ever buy a new car. I said, why is that? He said, because as soon as you sign the paper, it's not worth what you're paying for it. I said, really? He said, yeah. He said, this is what you do. You buy a car 2 years old with under 20,000 miles, or as close to that as you can possibly get. You got a new car and somebody else took the hit. I said, wow.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know anything about finance. That's what I've done over the years.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm just going to pivot for a moment. Things you don't expect. A few months ago, and my car's, it's about time to get a new one. I like it. I like it a lot. My friend does an oil change, does the brakes, rotors. I let it go. So I was like, all right, dude, take care of it. Calls me up and says, yeah, I got a problem. Something I've never seen this before. And I totally trust him, known him for like 25 years. I'm like, what's up? He goes, your subframe is completely rusted out and falling apart. I'm like, what? So the subframe fits in the frame. There's a point in bringing this up in terms of the financial hit. You couldn't even buy it from the dealership. Had to get it on eBay. In the end, with the rental car, because it took them a week to fix it, it's a big job. All of this was $4,000, over $4,000, like 4,400, just like that. And I didn't have a choice. I got to get my kid to school. I need a vehicle. I didn't have time to shop. It's like, all right, just do it. Wasn't planning on that. And there's when we talk about the roof, all these things are going to crop up, and we don't really know what's coming next. So we need to have some kind of planning. And yes, I love what you're saying. 2 years, buy a used car, makes total sense.
Yes. I mean, it's all about being financially savvy. Okay. Many times we don't see things the way they are. We see things the way we are, and we have been conditioned over the years. We've just been conditioned to, I gotta have it now. I gotta have it now. Why wait? Why wait? I can get it right now. Why wait? Why wait? Just easy monthly payment plans and all this kind of stuff.
Yep.
On everything. People even charge groceries. Can you believe that?
Well,
Charging your
hold on. I
hamburger?
am gonna. And if I'm wrong, you tell me right away because you're the man. I charge my groceries, but I get points and I pay it as fast as I can. So they give you double points on the card that I currently have. I have a bunch of cards, but I use this one for household expenses, things like that. Good or bad?
I would suggest to you that it's a bad thing because they're luring you in with them points. What do you use them points for? I mean, just to get more stuff. Just to get more
No,
stuff.
I always take the points in payment, so I eat down my credit card payment. So if it's, let's say, $50 or whatever in points, I was like, all right, I'll circle it back into my payment. And now I have to pay $50 less on my credit card bill.
it seems like a good thing.
It
However,
does.
they still got you on the hook because you're using that credit card. They want to keep you there. Well, yeah, let's give him this, and even though he thinks he's getting something, it's all coming back to us. Okay, it makes you feel good. Oh yeah, it makes you feel. Well, yeah, I'm getting these points. I'm getting these points. It's just another way to keep you on the hook.
No doubt. No doubt. I think it makes sense for me. I will say I am proud about one thing, Rob. My cable bill and
Mhm.
my cable internet, and you have to take the phone. It's part of the package, and I try to get rid of it all the time. Call them up, tell them I'm canceling. I'm cutting a cord. I have basic cable TV. I don't even want it. But if I just take the internet, I'm looking at like, 80 something dollars. If I take the phone and the TV, which rarely I use, but it's an extra $10 or whatever I'm paying like $94 a month for that entire package right there. And everybody else tells me, "Oh my God, what a look at my bill is." I'm like, "Why are you paying that?" I could easily just, get rid of the extra 12, $15, whatever it is for the TV and the phone. But I take it for now. But I don't know. I think I'm doing well there. Does that sound reasonable or no?
Well, for me, I see I've got that same situation, and the bundle. It seems like it's more cost effective, but I don't watch the TV. Only I watch commercials, and I watch them on the quote unquote news. Okay, but as far as the internet goes, I gotta have that,
Of
and
course.
I've got a really good service for my internet, and so they just throw the phone and the TV in there. I've got a
You know why?
landline.
You know why they throw it in? You know why they throw it in? Because they need you. Because when they want to sell, I have a marketing company. When they and I advertise on TV, when they want to show numbers of how many subscribers they have, they need people like you and me. Once we start going away, they can't charge as much. So that's why they throw in the TV and the phone. And by the way, the phone, for me, if I have a bad cell connection in my place, whatever it might be at the moment, I'm in a certain room, whatever. It's like, all right, just use the landline. Again, don't really need it. Don't really need it. But it's an extra $12. I throw it in there, whatever. But I
Yeah.
think I'm being savvy. I don't know.
Well, it's all about what the necessity for the main service, which is the internet.
Right. Exactly.
I
Exactly.
gotta have that, gotta have it. So
100%.
it's like your car, you don't need air fresheners in there, but you get them anyway. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you don't need to have all these different channels and all that kind of good stuff, but it comes with the package.
Are you somebody like what we're talking about right now? Are you somebody that can look at somebody's or everything they're doing and make suggestions as a consultant? Is that something that you do from
Well,
time to time?
I'll make a suggestion for everyone right now. For the next 30 days, record every dime you spend for the next 30 days. Then you will find out where your money is going. And then by virtue of you knowing where it's going, you can put a stop on some of that leakage that you got. That firm grip on that empty bag is because that bag has a hole in the bottom of it. Everything you're putting in there is falling out, but you're not looking at it.
Right.
Okay. So just to be savvy about things, I wrote my book. It's not a how to, okay? It's more of a why to, okay? I don't tell people what to do and all this. I'm just saying, look, consider this to avoid this, okay? That's the way it is. A lot of people like to talk about motivation and things like that. Well, see, you can't motivate someone. I can inspire you to get motivated to do something, and the best way to do that is usually through the only two reasons why people do anything, and that's to avoid pain or experience pleasure.
Right.
Because the only two reasons why people do things, right? So what I like to do is just get people to thinking, because most people don't think. We're living in the moment right now, and what feels good right now, that's what I'm going to do. Never mind what's gonna happen tomorrow. I ain't there yet. Tomorrow not promised, where I'm. But let's just say you do wake up and it is tomorrow. All right. It's better to put aside a little bit at a time now, over time, as opposed to scrambling trying to make everything, like we said before, make ends meet down the road. So you might as well just shuffle aside a little bit of it now, like I had mentioned in our last meeting about a portion of all that you earn is yours to keep. It should not be less than 10%, no matter how much you earn. That right there is what you call building a rainy day fund. Okay. And right now it is raining and a lot of people don't know it. They're just eating up everything right now. Because I mean, we're bombarded with so many things. If I told you in 1972 that in the year 2023 you could eat anywhere, anytime, whatever you want to eat, and you would look at me and say, well where are they going to eat at? And I say to you, there's going to be restaurants on every corner, open 24/7, all the time, and all this. You would say, man, you're nuts. You're crazy. Get out of here. But where are we at right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everywhere you turn, it's going to cost you something.
Or picking up one of these devices here and pressing a button and having something delivered to your house. And I'm not talking food. I'm talking about items and things from this Amazon thing in 4 hours or less. And you don't have to pay for it. You do, but you didn't have to bring it. Just automatically came out of your bank account. Wow.
Yeah.
People would say the same exact thing. And by the way, things like Amazon, it's your friend and it's your foe, because you could get so addicted to just making it easy. Like, yeah, I'll just click the button. You know what? If I don't like it, I'll take it back or I'll drop it off at the UPS store. How many times do we actually do that? It was $12. I'm not going to worry about it.
And see
That-
that's the Achilles heel right there,
yeah.
because every little bit counts. I mean, you look at the waste in one's financial picture. You look at the waste that goes on. You take that cable bill that we both have with the internet and all that, and you look at that over 10, 15, 20 years. Just imagine if we take all them little bits that we're spending, the Starbucks, the $4 coffee, and all this kind of stuff, on a daily basis, we're just doing it without even thinking about it.
Hmm.
And all that money just flowing away. I meet with a lot of our senior citizens, man, and the one thing that I asked them, I said, if you knew what you know now, what would you do different? And the number one answer I get: save more money.
Wow.
Save more money.
And do it effectively, not just
Mm-hmm.
throw it in some savings account. And I had to move some funds around for a various number of reasons, and I had like $20,000. I moved, threw it into a savings account just for the moment. It's not staying there. And then I looked at what the interest was. I don't pay attention. I don't leave money in savings accounts, but I don't pay attention to the interest. That amount of money, my interest monthly is about 19 cents. I even I am not making that up. And I don't care. I have to, take care of it. But it's an eye opener. A lot of people think that that's okay because they're not financially sound or savvy about it. But what a complete waste.
Well, this the thing about that is simply this: they're paying you that piddly amount, but then when they loan it out, they're getting 10 times that.
Yes, they are.
Okay, if not more. Just like your credit cards and things like that. See, uh, man does not prey on man physically. Man preys on man, his fellow man, financially. Okay, they're getting you to, they're separating us from our dollars. That's it. Every time you look at something, it's costing you, because it gets ingrained, it gets embedded, it gets input into your psyche. Like I need this. I gotta have it. Like I like shoes. I do.
I just
I
ordered some
like
from
my shoes.
Amazon. I just ordered some from Amazon. I'm not even kidding, Rob. And I haven't even opened the bag. They're on the floor, and I actually have the same shoes, but I like them so much, and I don't want them to get discontinued. And it wasn't that expensive, so I was like, "Yeah, I get you."
Well, see that's where the things about all these things that we buy, and what we need to do is question, what is this going to do for me? See, 9 times out of 10, we're just satisfying an emotion.
Yes.
Logically, it makes no sense.
You are 100% right, and part of that emotion is feeling that we deserve it. We work really hard. I'm slaving away. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get that. I deserve it. It's only, $53, whatever it might be. Yeah, I deserve it. I deserve it. I deserve it. And where's it sitting? A lot of times in the bottom shelf of your closet, and you
Mhm.
really didn't need it. It's Do you think before anybody makes any financial moves that they should really take time to process it, really dig into it?
Well, yes, and see, it's all those little things that seem insignificant at the moment. But when you look over a period of time at all
Yeah.
those little things and the amount of money that's gone into it, this is where the rude awakening comes. Man, man, why did I buy this? Why did I do that? Oh, I should have did something else. I should have, could have, should have, would have. It comes up all the time. So what we need to do
Mm.
is we have to decide that we're not going to let our emotions rule our finances. We're going to do this thing logically. Okay. I don't need this. I don't need a $5 cup of coffee. You know, I go to Burger King and then they say, you want to supersize that? We can give you the large, the medium, or the small, or whatever. I mean, it's just eating away at your funds, just eating away at it. It's
I went to
crazy.
a restaurant the other day, and we're just about out of time, but just what you said. And I was there with my son, and it's Texas Roadhouse. I don't know if you have them down where you are.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah, we
great,
do.
great steak place, right? And we order an app, we order our meals, get some drinks, and she says, "You want to grab the ribs? They're really good. You want to try them?" And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to barely be able to walk out of this place after I eat what I ordered already. And she looks at me and she says, "They make us say that. They make
Hmm.
us say that." She felt guilty
Upsell.
even saying it.
It's
Yeah.
upsell. It's the upsell.
Yeah. What's the
Like
up?
when you go online and buy something, boom, I got this. Well, would you like to add this to it?
Yeah. Yep.
you know, oh, come on, we're gonna give you 50% off. And it's emotional hijacking. That
Fair
that's
enough.
my own term. I coined that phrase, but
I love it. It is.
yes.
It is. You're totally right about that. Even right down to the when you're just sniffing around a website and 10% off if you give us your phone number or your email address or both. I just was on a site the other day. It was 10% off your email address. I'm like, all right. And I give, some side address I don't use that often for this purpose. And then I'm done. And then ding, comes up 5% off. Additional if you give us your phone number. And it's almost like a guilt factor. They're emotionally getting you because you feel like it's FOMO, fear of missing out of a deal. I don't even know if I'm going to buy from them. And now I gave them, information. Rob, you have the book, you have the knowledge, you help people do this all the time. How do we find you?
Well, you find me at www.rhillenterprisesinc.com. My direct line is 773-765-4491. Or you can email me. Well, if you go to the website, you'll get all my contact information there. And I would like to just leave everyone with this right now, okay? If you have not started looking at your financial picture, you need to start today, okay? Get your life insurance in order, whole life or term. There is no good or no bad. It's all about what's going to fit your goals down the road. Okay. Um, get with somebody and talk about wills and trusts, because if you got real estate and big ticket items and things like that you want to leave to your family, you have got to protect them, because a lot of people leave things and they're not blessings, they're curses,
Hmm.
because of the taxes have to be paid. The tax man coming all the time. They get us coming and going. They tax you when you make it. They tax you when you spend it. They tax you when you save it. And they got us going on. I mean, it's
Uh,
wild. But there are ways around it. We do live by the golden rule. He who has the gold makes the rules. So how does he keep his gold? And that's what we need to do. We need to follow what they're doing.
Love it. You have so much insight, and go back to what we said in the beginning. Look inside the bag. If your bag is
Yes.
empty, we got some problems there. Yeah. Robb, thank you so much. I appreciate you and all the insight, and look forward next time we talk.
All right. I will see you again. And thank you very much for having me.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.